good. Not me, man. I drench mine, but there you go. You're welcome. Enjoy. Got so much. Should I go ahead and get started, Tim? Okay. He's training me, so you get to see one of my first shows. So excuse me if I flub up my words. You see, that's him right up there. He's making me do this. No, I'm just kidding. He's tired. He did 4 already today, so. All right, well, we are going to get started. Have you guys ever heard of waterless cooking before? No, I hadn't either, so I was just amazed when I first heard about it. What I'm going to do first is I am going to make a nice vegetable medley, a healthy vegetable medley in our 1 quart. And I am going to begin by slicing up some carrots. So let me show you the best kitchen tool ever. When I was introduced to this guy, I was like, where have you been all my life? I'm not real good with a knife, and Tim can attest to that, right, Tim? So this thing is so easy, and if you guys like salads, like you said you did, it can chop so much, so quick. All right, so I'm going to begin by slicing up some carrots. This kitchen cutter has 5 different cones. I'm going to pick the slicer cone. It also has a julienne, a shredder, something that makes things look like potato chips, that type of thing. So let me put this on here, as so. Like I said, I'm still a little new, but this guy, this machine is so nice to me. Now I have washed and scrubbed these carrots. Okay, look at how easy that goes. I don't like to go too fast. Tim can go really fast. He's been doing it for years. I'm like, I'll just keep it simple. But I've washed and scrubbed my carrots. You know what? I'm just gonna throw it. And but I haven't peeled them. So do you guys know maybe why I'm keeping the peel on these carrots? Nutrition, you're exactly right. You're smart. Most of the vitamins and minerals, all the good stuff in a carrot is on that skin. So I want to keep that intact. I want that to get into our bodies. Okay? Carrots also make a special medicine all by themselves. It starts with beta carotene. You're exactly right. And doctors have said that beta carotene is the first known prevention for cancer. So we can go ahead and grow this in our backyards, and we already have that beta carotene. So it is good stuff. I think this should be enough for me to get started. All right. Now I'm going to open up my waterless cooker. This is our 1 quart. Let me remove this real fast so it's not staring at you the whole time. Oh, and people also ask me if you can cut yourself. You can actually put your hands right in here. Won't get cut. You can put it on the outside, fine. Don't want to put it right at the top. That's where you get the chef's salad coming out, okay? We don't want any of that. Not the real kind, anyway. I'll put that little guy over there. He is a great, great helper. So I'm going to fill this about 2/3 of the way full. Might not have done quite enough there, Tim, but a few more. Do you want me to cut a couple more?
No, just put a couple more carrots in the bowl. You don't need any of that.
Okay. Yeah. Hi there. How are you? Good. Hey, what are your names, ladies? I didn't even get your names. Michelle? That's my middle name. Dee. I used to have a friend in middle school. Her name was Dee Dee. I was like, does that stand for something? She goes, no. I like it. Thank you. All right. So Michelle and Dee Dee, and what are your names?
Teddy and Teddy.
Teddy and Teddy? Teddy squared. I like it. Okay. All right, so I put in some carrots. Now I'm going to add my favorite vegetable. Does anyone else like broccoli as much as I do? Yes. Broccoli is one of our top superfoods. It has 7 times more nutrients than any other vegetable. Broccoli is fabulous. I'm also going to add some zucchini. I like zucchini. Zucchini is great for your skin. It's got lots of vitamin E in it. It also has magnesium in it, okay? I'm going to add some yellow squash. Yellow squash is a great source of fiber. and also it has vitamin A, B, and C in that yellow squash. And I'm going to add one of my favorites, corn on the cob. Who likes corn on the cob? Yes, it is a summer staple, isn't it? A lot of people say that there is no nutritional value in corn. I've heard that said a lot of times. That is a myth. Corn is a great blood sugar stabilizer if you are a diabetic, and it also has great antioxidants just filled up in there, okay? Now, I'm new at making this, so pardon me as I try to organize them a little bit. I'm not used to it. All right, my cabbage is gone. You took my cabbage. So I'm going to add a little splash of color with this red bell pepper. Do you know that we eat with our eyes? So when things are more colorful, it's more appealing to us and we like to eat it. So can anyone tell me what the difference is between a red bell pepper and a green bell pepper other than the color? Oh my goodness, we've got a smart one here. That's exactly right. So it stayed on probably over 3 weeks longer. We also know it's sweeter and it costs a little bit more at the store, right? But we get what we pay for because it tastes even better than a bell pepper. Now, if I was to cook this like I watched my mom cook it thousands of times, what would she add next? She would add water. She would drown those vegetables, get them all nice and wet, and drown them all, right? And then she would put it on our burner here, and she would crank the heat up to high, right? Because she'd want to boil those vegetables, okay? And then after they were on here for like 15 minutes or so, she would take them off, and she'd be like, well, there still looks like there's a little bit of life and color left in these vegetables. They're not quite dead yet, are they? So she would grab her butcher knife, and she would stab them to death. And then she'd put them back on for like another 10 or 15 minutes, right? Well, we are not going to do that today because the two main enemies for your vegetables are high heat and water, okay? And I will show you why right here. I am going to drain the water out of here and just wait till you see. This is going to look a little bit different than it did going in, okay? Look at that color. Now, what do you think? What else is in there besides just the water? The nutrition, right? The whole reason we're eating these vegetables comes out right here. And that's just after being in water for 10 seconds. I didn't even boil those. And usually we boil them for 15, 20 minutes. So you can imagine what that does. So I'm going to rescue our vegetables today. I'm going to cook them the waterless way. I am going to put my lid right here. And I'm only going to cook medium to low, okay? That's all you need to know with this cookware, okay? Medium to low. We never cook on high, so it really does save on your energy bill as well. So we are not boiling in this pot, but I am going to boil in this pot so you guys can see the difference and have a little taste test, okay? Nothing real special about this pot. It is a Williams-Sonoma all-clad piece, so it is a great piece of cookware. I paid about $300 for it, but it's not waterless. It's not waterless, right? So if I was to add the rest of my carrots, and if I was to put this piece of cookware on the burner and turn it on high, what would happen, Michelle? Well, if I don't have any water in it, it would burn, right? And it would burn bad, okay? You'd be scraping off carrot remains for days, okay? So let me tell you how this actually works. So all other regular cookware just cooks from the bottom up. We put it on the burner, cooks from the bottom up. We need to add that water or that oil so that the water and oil get heated up and it helps cook the food, okay? With ours, our engineers were so smart, they developed this thermal core way of cooking. So not only does our cookware cook from the bottom up, it also cooks from the sides in, top down. So it's just like an oven, okay? It's just like what your oven does. It cooks all directions evenly and thoroughly, okay? All right, now, this is also very smart cookware. Boiling takes place at 212, okay? I only want to reach a temperature of 180. Like I said, we don't get real high heat with this stuff. So I just want to reach 180, and this pot is so smart, it's going to tell me when it reaches that, because vapor is going to start coming out of the top. Okay, so Dee, will you be my audience chef today? Will you tell me when that vapor is coming out? I would appreciate that. All right. Now let's talk about our homes for just a second. We take pride in our homes, don't we? It's where we spend time with our families. It's where we raise our kids and make our memories. Um, where was I going with that? Oh yeah. What is the most expensive room in your homes, do you think? And it's not your shoe closet or anywhere you keep those purses or your tools. The kitchen. The kitchen is the most expensive room in our homes. And why, you may ask, but you see your friends and everyone else does it. Spend thousands of dollars on granite countertops, tens of thousands of dollars on nice cabinets, get a huge stainless steel fridge that can practically make its own grocery list, a matching stovetop and range, and a dishwasher that doesn't make any sound, right? Now there's the only appliance in your kitchen that actually touches your food, the food that we put into our bodies, is kept hidden in a deep dark hole underneath our countertops, right? So I'm going to go down into my dish dungeon here, and I'm going to bring up something you might recognize, okay? I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, you guys recognize the sound? I can't find anything. Can't find what lid. Here we are. Oh, no, see, I almost missed it. There we go. So we are cooking the food that we eat on something that looks like that. Okay? Now, there was a lady this morning, she goes, really, I wish my cookware looked half that good. I was like, oh honey, stick around. We got to make some changes a little bit, okay? So you might recognize the porcelain pot from Grandma's house. Okay, we also have that old copper bottom Revereware. I don't know if anyone got it for their wedding. It was very expensive. It was like $250 for a pan. It was good cookware, but then we found out it's so thin, okay, that when it cooked, it would get some hot spots and would burn things. And then we couldn't clean it, okay, and it was so hard to clean. So we would toss that, we'd throw that away. It would end up in a landfill somewhere. We'd buy another one, same thing would happen. That's what's called disposable cookware. We don't realize it so much. We don't realize it so much, but we spend a lot on cookware replacing it, but we don't do it all at once, so we don't see that price tag, right? Thank you, Dee. There is our veggie medley. Now what I'm going to do here with our cookware, when I take this off, and you can see, like right now, I didn't add any water in there, did I? And so this lid can spin freely on its own moisture from the vegetables, okay? When I take this off, and I'm gonna let it sit here, and how long? It was only on there for not even 5 minutes, right? So it really saves on your energy bill, okay? But when I take it off, this lid is gonna lock up solid, and it's gonna form a vapor seal to keep in all those natural juices and all those nutrients, okay? And I'm not even gonna be able to open it or spin it anymore, because, like I said, this cookware smart is telling me, please leave me alone. Go do whatever you got to do. I need to cook. So I'm going to let that go. I'm going to put these on here, and then I'm going to go back to talking about our cookware. Okay. All right. You guys might remember the old popular pan from the 80s, Mr. Teflon, right? He was a stud, wasn't he? I mean, nothing was supposed to stick to him. He was Mr. Slick. Every woman wanted him, every man, or every pan wanted to be him, right? But soon we realized that as we cook, things were coming off, and we're like, and the things were sticking, so we would throw that away. We'd go in our landfill, we'd get another one, and another one, and another one. Within 10 years, you're spending about $700 replacing this one pan, okay? You just don't realize it because it doesn't happen all at once, okay? And then, you know, the doctors and the researchers started saying, you know what, let's see what that Teflon's all made of, and the gloom and doom happened, right? They're like, oh, this can cause cancer, and all of us were like, are you kidding me? How is this possible? I've been cooking for my kids on this for years, and now you're telling me it could cause cancer, right? Not good. If you have one of these at home, I would get rid of it, okay? Now, some of you might still be cooking on aluminum, and if you are, you know that when you cook on aluminum, it starts out real bright and shiny, and then the more food we cook, the darker the pan tends to get. And then we cook something with acid in it, right? Like spaghetti sauce or something with vinegar, and it's all bright and shiny again. So, Teddy, where did that darkness go? It didn't just disappear into nowhere, huh?
Went on your food.
It went in our food, didn't it? And where does our food go?
Stomach.
In our stomach. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to do a little science experiment. I'm just going to add a little tap water to this aluminum pan. And I'm going to take a little piece of nylon Scotch-Brite, okay? Michelle, if you want to touch this so you know I'm not doing any type of magic up here. That's all I'm using. All right, so doctors started doing studies, and when they were looking into certain diseases, they were noticing that aluminum was linked to certain diseases, especially in the brain, okay? So Parkinson's and Alzheimer's had extra aluminum in there, and they're thinking even autism can be linked to some aluminum. So 18 countries, including Canada and some in Europe, have outlawed cooking on aluminum. You cannot cook on aluminum in those 18 countries anymore, but you still can here in the U.S., okay? In fact, so any of our high-end restaurants or hospitals, nursing homes, they're still cooking on aluminum. And so when you go out to dinner, you might actually, unknowingly and unwantedly, get a side of this with your meal, okay? Now that, my friends, is aluminum oxide, and that is poison, okay? So if you're still cooking on either of these two pans, they should have a skull and crossbones engraved on them. Try to get rid of those, okay? Those are no good. All right.
That is so true.
I know, right? Thank you, yes. Now one thing I wanted to do is, the Teflon was always known as cooking the egg. You can cook the egg really good. But we're not cooking on that right now. But I'm going to cook an egg on our skillet, okay? I'm going to show you how easy it can come off. I'm not done with that iron pan yet. No, I'm not going to do the test, but yeah. Let's see. So I'm going to show you on this 9-inch skillet how good an egg can cook and how it doesn't stick. Other stainless steel companies, we're 100% American made. This comes out of Pennsylvania, this steel. It's the highest grade titanium surgical steel. Other stainless steel companies, they get theirs from overseas, China and so forth. You can add a whole stick of butter. Things are still going to stick to it. But let me show you. So I either will add butter sometimes, or I will add a spray of canola oil or coconut oil. I am going to use olive oil for this particular one today. Okay, we all recognize this. All you need is just a little spritz on here, okay? And that is it. I'm going to crack my egg, and then just like my vegetables here, I'm going to leave it alone to do its job. Okay, so I'm going to put that in. And I'm going to let it cook by itself, and I'm medium to low again. I'm only going to set this on 2, okay? So I'll leave that alone. And then finally, with these pans, if anyone still has a cast iron skillet at home, is anyone still? Yes. People are passionate about their cast iron skillets. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to get rid of it, because nothing cooks cornbread like a cast iron skillet, right? But we do know when it comes to cast iron, you have to season it. You never wash it. So all the bacteria from our food does live in here, but we can, with our appliances today, we can heat it up and kill that bacteria. But you might just not want to cook everything every day on an iron skillet, okay? You might want to give your body a little bit of a break, do some stainless steel cooking, and keep that iron once or twice a week, okay? Okay. I am new, so I just need to look at my notes here for a second. Okay, so I have shown you what other cookware is out there, right? Let me fix my egg here. It's going well. I've shown you what other cookware is out there. Now I want to show you about waterless cooking just for a second and show you how Kitchencraft has made the perfect pan. Okay, so I already told you about the thermal core and the vapor seal. There are 7 layers to our cookware, okay? And we do like what some of those pans do. So we started off with like a cast iron magnetic steel, okay? Because we like what that iron does. Then we wrap 3 layers of aluminum around it because we like how the aluminum transfers the heat. It heats up quickly. We just don't want to eat on either of those, right? Wait, oops. Yeah, we don't want to eat on either of those. So then they wrapped it 3 more layers in high titanium surgical stainless steel. The same stainless steel that your hip implants and knee implants are made out of, okay? It's the exact same steel, so we know it's good for our bodies, okay? All right, they also put a bake-light candle on it so it will not melt in the oven. We had a hand surgeon design our handle for comfort, and it also has a pivot grip so it's not going to get away from you and fall, okay? They put little parts here so we don't burn ourselves. We have a thumb protector and we have a finger protector so we don't burn ourselves on it. Inside we have a 45-degree angle so it's easy for cleaning, okay? We have a double rolled side to it and a sturdy bottom. Now real fast, I am going to flip my egg. And then I'm going to come around and show you guys how easy that works, okay? Okay, so this is the most durable, thickest cookware in the world, really. And I want to show you an older piece. So I had a friend who had waterless cooking, and her mom had waterless cooking and passed it down to her. This is from 1960, okay? And look at how good this still looks. Back then we were 3-ply, now we are 7-ply. The only way you can really tell is just this dated handle here, right? So I just want you guys to shake hands with the best cookware in America, if you don't mind passing those around for me. And while you're looking at that, I'm going to bring around this egg so you can see how well this just slides through the pan. Not sticking at all, is it? It's just sliding. Nothing's there. I'm going to go right by you here. Oh, I love your shoes. See how much that just slides right around there, right? Okay. I know, and it smells good. And then when you're done cooking it however way you want, look at this. It just comes right off, and this is ready for the dishwasher because this is dishwasher and oven safe, okay? We've got that. Now we've gotten to our eating portion of the show. Woohoo! Let's see. Now, oh, let me tell you one more thing. So our cookware, one of the greatest things, it has a lifetime guarantee. It's a forever guarantee. You can pass it down to your kids, it's their lifetime. Pass it down to their kids, it's their lifetime. This can practically become a family heirloom, okay, that you just keep passing down, and it's forever warranted. So if anything goes wrong with it, you just let us know, and all of our cookware is engraved with our name. That's all we need to see, and we'll replace it for you, okay? And then the greatest thing about this is that not only is it water-free and oil-free, but let me tell you folks, since 1906, it's made right here in the land of the free, okay? West Bend, Wisconsin, okay? And the steel we get from Pennsylvania, so it's 100% made here, okay? All right, so now, oops, I gotta put this back on here. Like I said, I'm new, so thank you for bearing with me, these little parts here.
She meant to hold that up.
Oh, did I?
This was you right here. You were
Oh.
right there.
Laugh, everyone laugh upside down.
She's doing great.
Okay, and I also want to let you know that our company is owned by a Vietnam vet, okay? And if you don't believe that we are the 100% only cookware company made exclusively in America, we have these knobs to prove it. Are there any veterans in my audience, or do you have any veterans in your family? What division, sir? What, Navy? Well, thank you for your service. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you so much. So look at this, the Pentagon. The Pentagon itself gave us permission to put the little logos there from the military. We're also going to get firefighters and police officers. You can have an extra set of these and replace your, what are these called? Knobs. Okay, you can replace your knobs so that we can honor the man that served in the Navy, right? Okay. Okay, so now we have come to our eating portion. So who here drinks coffee? Yeah, you love, I'm passionate about coffee. Well, we normally like to get like really good coffee beans, right? We put those through the hot steaming water and we get a beautiful cup of coffee, right? why, when it comes to our vegetables, do we do the opposite? Okay? I'm hoping I have cooked these long enough. I'm not quite sure. We'll see. But when it comes to our vegetables, we do the opposite. So, oops. So this is like the coffee, over the coffee grounds. I'm going to pour it in this cup. You're going to see all of those nutrients and everything that came out while it was boiling. All right. So this is like our delicious cup of coffee, but we don't drink this. We should, right? But we don't. Okay, we can. But normally, where does it go? Down the drain, right? I'm shaking a little bit. Okay, and Dr. Oz, we all know Dr. Oz, he said if our drain had a digestive system, it'd be the healthiest member of the family, right? Because all those nutrients and vitamins that we just cooked out went right down the drain. And then we went to CVS and we get our vitamins and supplements and we take those even though they were just in here, but we poured them down the drain, right? Okay. So let's see here. All right, now if I was to serve this to my family, I don't know about your family, but it definitely loses taste. All the vitamins and nutrients are practically gone. But here's the coffee grounds that we feed to our family, right? All right, now if I was to make that taste like food again, what am I gonna put in it? Salt, right? Maybe a little butter, right? So I've got that right here, a little salt and butter. I start putting that over there, and then I'm like, why is my cholesterol going up? And I'm eating, and I'm like, why don't I feel good? I don't have any energy. What's going on? Does anyone still use real butter at home? Yes. Go ahead and use that real butter. It is natural. It's made from God. This is great stuff. Get rid of these fake butters, okay? This is made from God knows who. It's chemistry in a bottle. Has a shelf life of like 25 years. Not good for us, okay? All right, now we know salt isn't that great for us either. In fact, the American Heart Association calls this a heart attack in a box, okay? So does anyone use sea salt now, by chance? Yes? That's great. Sea salt is a much better option, much better alternative. This has 83 minerals in it, okay? This has mercury, and in order for it to pour really easily, it has aluminum oxide, okay? So we don't want to do that. If you can't part with your salt, make sure you go for the sea salt, okay? We also have salt substitutes like Mrs. Dash. That's an even better way to go. But if you like your salt, go with the sea salt, Himalayan salt, anything like that, okay? Lastly, does anyone still use does anyone use olive oil at home? I love my olive oil, right? It is good for you, but do yourself a favor. Spend a little extra money and get the extra virgin, okay? That's the first press. It's the best for you, okay? No cholesterol, no fat. All right? All right, now I am going to pass these toothpicks around. If you could shake out 2 or 3 so you can get a couple samples and pass them along. What is your name, sweetie?
Paula.
Paula, you're so sweet. Is that Tony? Is that your husband?
Boyfriend. Another Italian Tony.
What is it?
Another Italian Tony.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going to ask that next. Are you Italian? Tony. All right, so yep, shake those out. And I am now going to show you, excuse me, I'm dropping things up here, our wonderful vegetable medley. Okay, I'm going to bring this around, I'm going to open it up, and you're going to see the beautiful colors that have stayed intact, which also means all the nutrients and vitamins and everything stayed intact, okay? So I'm going to count to 3. Michelle and Dee, everybody, I want to hear some oohs and ahs when I open this, okay? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, it still looks all pretty. All that beautiful color, right? That is living color for living people. So I am going to pass out some corn. Is there anyone that doesn't like corn? I don't know if I have all. Oh, and let me show you also what all of our cookware does. The lid becomes a trivet. So if you can't find a trivet or anything, look at that. It happens right there, doesn't it? All right, now I can see this happening. Michelle, are you married? No? You married, Dee? And what is your husband's name? Dan? And how long have you and Dan been married? Oh my gosh, 43 years in marriage. How about that? Well, I can see on the weekend or something, Dee's out, she's working out, she's working out hard. Then she goes gets her hair done, you know, and then she gets a massage, okay, because that's her weekends, right? Dan is home and Dee comes back and she's like, my gosh, Dan, I am starving. I hope you've been cooking me dinner. And he says, you know what, honey, I have. And let me just show you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Here is your dinner served on a silver platter.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is so cool.
And look at this, nothing sticks in this stainless steel. It's all ready for the dishwasher again, okay? I don't need this anyway. Okay. Oh, I do? Okay. All right, so I'm going to pass out some corn here. Let me turn this over. Oh, goodness. I'm making a total mess, aren't I? I am. Hold on one second. I've got things backwards here.
No worries.
Here we
We're all
go.
still in.
Thank you. That is so sweet. Oops, there it goes. No. Oh, thank you. Okay. Okay. Now, I don't care. I need stuff for my hands. Okay. Now, I don't care what McDonald's says. This is a much better Happy Meal, right? Look at this. It's beautiful. Thank you. Tim's got to help me. I mean, literally, this is maybe the third time I've done this.
You're doing great.
So, I am going to pass out some corn. Alrighty. Get rid of that. And then you guys can taste all those natural sugars and salt that have stayed in the corn, okay? So it should taste sweeter than any corn, hopefully, you've ever had. But let's see here. Let me try this here. Michelle, there you go. Dee, there you go. Teddy. Do you both want some corn? You don't, no corn? No corn for you? Uh-huh. No water, that's the whole thing. There's no water that in these vegetables that I'm passing out right now. It's amazing, it's waterless. So we have a certain system that works. And they cook because we have a thermal core system. So our pans heat from the bottom up, sides in, top down. So just like an oven, you don't need any water, okay? All right, let me pass out a couple more here. All righty. Paula and Tony. Here you go. So how does the corn taste so far? Does it taste good? Do we need butter and salt? We don't need it. It tastes really sweet, but who doesn't like a little butter and salt, right? But what do you think of the concept that we cut half of what we normally put in our vegetables if we cook them this way and they taste this good, right? So that would be great. All right, I am going to pass it around now. Did everyone get a toothpick? Did you guys get toothpicks? Okay, great. All right, I'm going to pass around this cardboard dressed as carrots, okay? These are the ones that I boiled, and I boiled them for a good 10 minutes in water, right? So we're going to start with those. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to pass, so try one of those carrots, and when this comes around, try a carrot first, and then pick some of the other ones so you can taste the difference, okay? There you go. So if you remember, those boiled carrots were boiling in water for 10-15 minutes, right? 85% of those nutrients and vitamins are gone when we do it that way. This plate of food, this plate of food was cooked with no water, okay? It was only on our burner for 5 minutes. So right there, it saves on your energy bill because we only need about 5 minutes. We cook on low, and then that sat here and kept cooking with our vapor seal. So which